What's up, guys? Kevin Sang from Odds and Ends, a resource for young adults. Kind of like just an introductory video. I'm just gonna kind of holler at y'all a little bit, give you a little background on myself, why I'm starting this YouTube channel, and what I plan to do with this YouTube channel, and so on. All right, so I'm a 20-year-old college student. I live in Alabama. Back a little bit to my childhood. I was raised up in a small, very, very small town. Had three or let's see here, I had three older brothers and older sisters. I didn't have very much money growing up ever. So we was in a very, very, very poor family. Wasn't rich at all. I mean, we had enough money to eat and stuff like that, but things wasn't very good for the most part. So whenever I got old enough to drive and stuff like that, I was fortunate enough to have parents that they had a car to give me. It wasn't a very great one, granted, but it was a car that I was able to drive. I was a lot more privileged than most kids. So whenever I started driving and stuff, it was made clear to me that I was gonna have to pay for my own stuff, pay for my own car insurance, pay for my own stuff. I was on my own at that point. I was old enough to work, and that was it. So, had I chose to continue playing sports and stuff in high school, they probably would have worked something out for me because I was in the cross country team at my high school, and we won 2 state championships while I was there. We won several before and after I was there too, so very successful program. And I played basketball for a little bit. But I started working at my uncle's gas station, and worked there. It taught me a lot of discipline, a lot of stuff. I was still young and stupid, and spent most of my money on this girl I was dating at the time. But I went from there, and then I transferred in the middle of my junior year in high school to a different high school in the county that I live in, and I started working at Burger King because it was a little bit closer. So I got a little bit of work experience there, and kind of got the feeling of how a real work environment was going to be, because working for your parents or your uncles or any of your family relatives is not the same thing, guys. Not the same thing. So I think it was good for me, and then I decided to stop doing that. That I did that all the way through after I already gotten out of high school, a little bit after, and then I started. I traded. I had a phone. It was like the LG Spectrum or something like that, and I went and traded this guy and got a Note 2. Well, I went in to this guy, and he didn't tell me if the screen was cracked on it. So I was like, oh my God, my screen's cracked. What am I going to do? So it was like $100 to get it fixed, but I didn't have the money for that. I wasn't making that much money at Burger King. I made a little bit, and I saved most of it. But I mean, I had to pay car insurance. I had to pay all my food. I paid for all of my stuff, my shampoo, So basically, I sat down and I figured out, okay, well, I'm just going to attempt to fix this myself. And so that's what I did. I watched a ton of tutorials. I had a good friend of mine who had been repairing iPhones, and he helped me out with it. And so I repaired it successfully on my own, very successfully. And so then I started thinking, I can make money doing this, because this is something that happens to a lot of people. Everybody breaks their phone from time to time. It happens all the time. So I went into the phone business, and I was actually repairing like iPhones, iPads, you name it, everything. I was repairing screens. I was replacing charging ports. I was doing all kinds of stuff, everything with a phone I could do. And so that's what I did for an entire year. That I lived off of that for an entire year. I started off college, wanted to be a computer engineer, and then I changed over to being I think I changed over to mathematics, and then I changed to business administration and stuff. So basically, I did that for a year, and then the car that my parents had gave me kind of wore out, and I needed to get a new one. I had to get something more than just my phone business to pay for that big expense. Everybody knows a car is expensive. It's huge. So I had to get something, so I had a better paying job, more consistent. So I went to several places, and I finally got a call back from the Walmart that is close to me. So I go and start working for Walmart. I started working there about the beginning of my sophomore year in college. And whenever I started working there, I worked at the fitting room. And so I worked in the fitting room for about 3 months. 3 months is all I was at the fitting room. And then I got bumped up to department manager. And then I was a department manager for 5 months, and they wanted me to be an assistant manager. But I was so young. Like I was working at Walmart when I was 18 when I was a department manager. I was only 18. I was like the minimum age to get inside the place. So I didn't meet the minimum requirements to become an assistant manager on the salaried payroll. So they actually gave me a position being a support manager, which is the highest hourly supervisor you can be. So 3 months at the fitting. After that, I became a department manager. 5 months there, and then I became a support manager. That's at the highest in my bracket. And I was a support manager for nearly a year. That's when I switched to business, from computer engineering to mathematics, and then I switched to business thinking I would make a career at Walmart. Well, I figured out that that wasn't for me, so I started doing, well, I made a ton of money at Walmart, so I saved up most of that. I got this brand new car and I paid off most of it. Been dating this girl for a little while at that time too, and now I'm getting married to her this weekend. But so things got really serious with her, and we went down to the beach this last summer. So 2016, we go down to the beach, to Daytona Beach on a vacation with my parents. It was my parents and me and her. And I actually proposed to her on the beach. Since we were getting married, we gotta have somewhere to live. My parents have actually let me fix up the house that I grew up in. And my brother lived there previously, and it was trash. It was torn up. The whole place was grown up in leaves. It was awful. So I had to go about remodeling that house. And even though I did make a bunch of money at Walmart, I'm just gonna have to renovate this house by myself. So I can't have a job. Between that and going to school full time, a job's out of the question if that's what I want to do. So I do that. I go on about getting everything done, and I getting everything remodeled, getting everything, everything I want to do to it. So we get all this stuff going. But I don't have money to pay everybody to do all these renovations I'm wanting, because of course she's got big dreams and big wishes for it, and I want to make all those things come true for her. And I can't do all of that if I'm having to pay somebody else to come in there and do it, because it's ridiculous how much it costs. And I've always been the type of person to do something if I can do it. I'll spend hours researching it, and then I'll do it. I actually replaced my mom's front bumper because she hit a deer. I researched that, got that done. I've done all kinds of stuff, and that was kind of the deal for this, and the reason why I'm doing this channel. So I started doing all this stuff, I've replaced the windows in that house. We've painted the whole outside, and I've replaced subflooring in the house. I've looked at structural foundation issues. I've done a tremendous amount of stuff with this house, just a tremendous amount of stuff. There's other college students out there, or young adults, or there's probably even some older people that would rather, take the time and do this stuff themselves rather than pay for somebody to do it, because this stuff's really not that hard. It's just you don't know how to do it. And a lot of things, like with central heating and cooling, a lot of these industries hide this stuff to where you can't find out how to do it. Only they know how to do it, and that's how they make the money. And that's business, that's the way it works. Props to them. I'm not taking anything away from them. That's what I would do too if I was in that business. But, and that's also another thing too. I've went about designing my entire AC stuff, and I've got it designed out completely, and I'm going to do all that, put all that in myself. I'm still like down here, and I'm going for way up here, but I'm still down here, but I've already come a long way. And along this way, I've already learned so much stuff. I've learned so many lessons about the kind of mind frame you need to have, the kind of That's really all it is to it, is a mind frame. It's all about your mind frame and how you think and how you're dealing with things in your life. And as a young adult, first going into college, getting out of high school, making that transition, it's difficult for some people. So that's what I'm here for. I want to give and talk to you about these different stages of your life and going through them and try to help you make the best decisions you can make possible for yourself and for your future. And I just kind of want to share those things with you. I'll go through basic things such as changing an oil. I'll show you how to replace stuff on a phone. I'll show you how to remodel your house by yourself, lay tile down in your house, all that stuff. It's so simple. You just gotta have patience. But I'll show you how to do all that yourself. And if there's anything that you guys want to know, want to find out, that's why this channel is called Odds and Ends, because I know pretty much a little bit of pretty much everything, because I've researched everything from time to time. I don't like paying people to do stuff for me. I do it myself. So just I've rewired my entire car audio system. I took all my speakers out and put different speakers in there. A touchscreen radio I put in my car, and I rewired throughout the entire car. I didn't keep the existing wiring. I rewired my entire car. Put subwoofers in the back. So I do a little bit of everything. As far as the hands-on how-to, I do everything, and I love giving advice. I love solving problems. That's why I did so well at Walmart doing management. I love solving problems. So I'm a mathematics major right now. So of course. So you guys, I have a Twitter page. My Twitter is at oddsandends20. Go there, tweet me, send me a message of anything you want to see, certain phone thing you got that you dropped, or any questions you might have. I want to try to do videos about all this kind of stuff, tips for college, all the repairs, how-to stuff. And I also love getting into philosophy. I love getting into religion and politics, how they interact with each other and how they kind of mingle together in their own weird way, and the limitations of all that. I love talking about all that. So if there's any kind of topics you want me to talk about, man, I'm all ears. I'll talk about anything. I'll discuss anything with you. But I want to do this video just kind of give you guys a background of myself, why I'm doing this and what I'm doing. And really, there is no specific answer for what I'm doing. I'm just doing a little bit of everything. That's why it's Odds and Ends. So I want Odds and Ends to be the resource for all young adults. I want it to be helpful to people. So check out my Twitter, subscribe, share it to your friends, let them all know. Well guys, it's really late and I'll be going to the house tomorrow, and I'll probably do some more filming tomorrow so I can kind of show you guys what's going on. I can upload some pictures of my house before, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. It's getting really late and I really need to go to bed, so